My name is Jordan. I'm also known on Instagram as 73 Queen, and I drive a 93 F350. What got me into building was my dad. He had a very large role. He always had trucks when I was younger, and I remember him telling me a story, and he thinks this is funny to tell everybody, that he had this, I don't even remember what, it was like a 2003 F250, and I guess when I was younger I thought it was the coolest thing, and when he sold it I cried for days, and he knew that I was in trouble and then I was also going to be pretty obsessed with it. What I enjoy most about building is definitely meeting all of these amazing people throughout the industry. They've been first connections through companies that would help me build my truck, and they honestly became some of my greatest friends. So I think that's probably the biggest pro in this whole thing. Someone that motivates me with my build is actually somebody that I met just recently. It's actually Dude Lovejoy. I kind of started following him on Instagram a couple years ago, and I remember seeing how dedicated he was into really just perfecting each piece of his builds. And I feel like he posts on Instagram at like 4 o'clock in the morning almost every single day and back at the shop at 8 a.m. And it's just kind of something that I'll see and I'll be like, wow, maybe I should step it up a little bit. Maybe I should add a little bit more. You know, I've got the extra money this month. Maybe I could do something that I wasn't planning on doing. And yeah, that's played a huge role for sure. My passion definitely started when I was younger. My dad definitely played a huge role in it. And I remember when I was in 7th grade, I had a computer class and we got to choose our desktop background. And I remember for some reason, it wasn't even a truck that I was like super crazy about, but I just loved the look and I wanted it to be bubblegum pink one day. Obviously I didn't do that, but it was a 1969 cherry red Chevy stepside short bed. I don't know why, I loved that thing, and that's probably what kind of turned into the love for the OBS trucks. So getting into trucks definitely is an expensive hobby. There's a lot of other things that you can get into that may cost you a little bit less. But I definitely think the relationships that come with building a trucks, it's almost like a family. You know, you hear of Fury family, hostile family, and it's definitely true. Once you start working with some of these companies, they, you know, first they're coworkers and then they're friends, and then you're texting each other every once in a while, and then you're invited to their wedding. So I definitely think that's something that sets apart a lot of the other hobbies that somebody could get into, because this is so widespread. I mean, I'm talking about friends in Canada, friends in, you know, all the way across the coast in Oregon, and I'm down here in Florida, Texas. It seems to be never ending. My friends and family could not be more supportive of this whole thing. It's definitely, I would say, blown up a little bit as far as the social media, and it's been very beneficial in a lot of ways. I've been able to collab with a bunch of companies. It's been super awesome for my business, so that's also pretty great. But they definitely think it's funny. Sometimes we'll be out and they'll like to crack jokes. They'll be like, oh yeah, have you seen her on Instagram, or have you seen her on TikTok? And it's definitely something to joke about, but I couldn't ask for better friends or family. Currently, I'm not a part of any truck clubs or groups. I personally think it would be unfair, I guess, to join one. Kind of one of those things to where if you join one, how do you say no to them all? There's a bunch of my personal friends that are in them, so I don't want to hurt any feelings. So I just felt as if it'd be best to just not be in any anti-truck club, I guess. I do have a couple sponsors. JC Customs, he's definitely been there since the beginning. I think he did my door handles for me. He makes custom billet door handles. He can even engrave them for you if you want. And he also did a pair of wing window billet handles as well. I think I got those a couple years ago. And to this day, I think just yesterday, he sent me a picture of a pair of billet oil caps that he put my name on top of. So that's super cool. Outlaw LEDs is another one of my sponsors. They built my headlights and my tail lights, and then also Explosive Customs, they made my iPad dash for me as well. The current setup that I have on it for the suspension, it's about a 6 to 7 inch lift. It's got Super Duty leafs on the front, and it's got the stock OBS leafs on the back. I've got the 2 1/4 PMF precision metal fab RSK up on the front, and I've got 24x14 hostile forged wheels, they're the Punishers, on 35x13.5 amp tires. I've got a couple custom things that I've added to my truck that I really feel have pulled it all together. I've got the iPad dash from Explosive Customs. I've got my matching heads and tails from Outlaw LEDs. I hopefully will have a couple rock lights under there to brighten it up a little bit, show off the far from stock diff pans that I have underneath. I think that's actually pretty much it. It's very basic, I feel like, for the most part, but I wanted to keep it pretty clean and simple. My future plans with my truck, funny enough, are kind of some of the same plans that I've had since the beginning. I've done a lot of things that I definitely wanted to do as far as customization. Like the 08 bumper was something that I really looked forward to when I was younger, so got that out of the way. But I would love to do a lot of performance work with it. It still kind of can't get out of its own way, but that's also what keeps it reliable, and it was my daily for 6 years. So now that I have another form of transportation, I'm definitely going to be able to pay more little attention to that. And I wanted to do coil swaps for the longest time, but I think I'm actually going to go with air ride once I do start to beef up the suspension a little bit, because go big or go home. My biggest setback while building my truck happened, I would probably say 2018. I was prepping for Daytona. I was in the middle of swapping out my suspension, and I only swapped it to the Super Duty leafs, but I was actually planning on just sticking with OBS leafs and doing the RSK. But I found a little bit of difficulty in getting the leafs to match, so I think I went through 3 different sets of leaf springs before I was finally able to make it all flow together. And it may not be that serious of a setback. I think it was, you know, up on a lift for, I think probably about 2 weeks, and I thought it was going to be a weekend project. So I would say that's definitely the biggest setback. I learned how to build my truck, I would say, from experience. I obviously didn't go to school for any form of mechanics or anything like that. I luckily have a lot of friends that are into the same industry, into the same scene. So, I mean, it started when I was 16 and I was in, you know, my friend's shop at the time. We'd be like, all right, we can't figure it out. Let's pull it up on YouTube, or let's call up so-and-so, and we'll just kind of go from there. But definitely a learn every step of the way kind of project. But I think that's probably the most fun and the most memorable for sure. Truck shows that I plan on attending, starting off strong with LST. That's coming up very soon. I think it's about 5 weeks away. I'm super excited for that one. I've got, let's see, I really would love to go to World of Wheels. I would love to go to Scraping the Coast. That'll be one I haven't been to before. Of course, Daytona. I actually am planning on going to Music City Showdown. That's in Nashville, Tennessee in May, and we'll see if I get to go to SEMA this year as well. What I love most about building trucks, aside from all the great people that you get to meet along the way, is honestly simply just learning. I'm a big learner, I guess. I enjoy learning. I think it's fun. So whenever I'm, you know, trying to replace something or trying to make, you know, a new modification, and you gotta, you know, kind of come up with something that maybe hasn't been done before, I just think that's super cool. It's fun, and yeah, definitely pretty satisfying.